Now, these associations, they should have things in place. Condo or townhome, especially if the association is charging me a fee, that means you have to have a higher credit score typically to go conventional. Now, it's going to be what I just mentioned. Everything else is going to be the same. Seeing the property, making an offer, how to buy a condo or townhome in 2024. So most of everything is still about the same, but you still want to set your expectations of what to expect as you're kind of going and navigating through not just this market, but buying these types of properties. So you have to understand first that most condos and townhomes are going to have what they call an association. Most associations are going to have association fees. Now, these associations, they should have things in place. Usually they have outside maintenance or some type of inside perks, like a clubhouse, swimming pool, basketball court. It can get fancy, okay? But I've also seen some neighborhoods where it wasn't nothing fancy at all. It was just nothing, okay? But either way, that is going to be an additional cost outside of what you would normally pay for your mortgage. With your mortgage, you have your principal, your interest, insurance, and then of course, that's going to be you have your taxes that are inside of that as well too. That's already kind of prorated and put inside the monthly payment. And now you have all of that on top the association fee. Association fees can get crazy. Some associations charge nothing, some charge $300, some charge $1,000, and this is a month. Some charge an annual fee, but most are typically going to charge a monthly fee. Now you're probably saying, well, Calvin, why would I go with condo or townhome, especially if the association is charging me a fee? Well, sometimes it's a certain neighborhood that you're looking for. Sometimes you're looking to be in a situation where you don't have to do much maintenance, especially like worrying about the roof, worrying about the exterior, worrying about if certain things will need to be fixed. Sometimes they have like a laundry unit and they take care of that. So there's a lot of different pros and cons of going with condos and townhomes as well. Not to mention, many townhomes and condos are huge savings when it comes down to taxes. Here in Illinois, taxes can get crazy, okay? And so to curb that cost, a lot of people go with condos or townhomes or some type of attached dwelling. That way it can reduce the cost of these things. Now, it's not mandatory or guaranteed that will be the case, but it's an attractive situation when you're able to do that. So pay attention to the taxes when you're looking at condos and townhomes and anything that's association fee related or associations in general, okay? Next is going to be the credit score. Now, some associations will not allow FHA loans. Now, it's not that FHA loans technically bring a certain type of buyer. It's more so that FHA is going to force the property owners make certain repairs if they do see things like peeling paint, if they do see certain things like a crack in a certain area or crack in the foundation or something like that. And it's simply a safety inspection, okay? Now, there's a couple different ways to dance around and still get that condo or townhome approved by FHA, but there's going to be some work needed on the people that's actually a part of the association. Unfortunately, a lot of these people that's a part of the association, I'm not saying they're lazy, but it's extra work in order for them to do it to get the properties. So it's just easier for them to just say, hey, we only want conventional buyers. Conventional simply means that, hey, they'll do an appraisal, but they really won't do like a safety inspection. It's more so saying, hey, is this property worth $300,000? Yeah, it's worth $300,000. Great, let's move forward. FHA is like, hey, is this property worth $300,000? Yeah, it's worth $300,000. Great, let's move forward. But wait a minute, let's go ahead and do a safety check, right? It's not really a safety check. I like to call it a safety check because they look at things that are more so safety required, okay? Is there an oven inside the property? We talked about, is there peeling paint, things of that sort. So with conventional, it's just easier for them to say, hey, be conventional. That way we don't have to worry about your loan telling us to fix something like an FHA loan would. It would say, hey, there's peeling paint. Someone needs to fix this if you want this buyer to close on this house. If they're going conventional, then they wouldn't have to worry about that, okay? Now, what else does that mean? That goes into the next piece. A higher credit score, because if you want to go with a certain condo or an association and they only take conventional, that means you have to have a higher credit score typically to go conventional. Now, a lot of lenders say that they will take conventional at 620, but it's difficult to be at 620 and get that. Like, you almost have to be stellar at your job for 10 years, having $50,000 in the bank. Not saying that you guys don't have that, but again, you have to be a strong 620. So it's easier for the banks to say, hey, we'll go and conventional is going to approve you if you're over 700, if you're over 720. So a lot of that is going to play a role inside of that process as well. And that's really the only factors when you're buying a condo or a townhome. Is going to be what I just mentioned. Everything else is going to be the same. Seeing the property, making an offer, closing on the property, everything's going to be the same. But again, if there is an association, make sure you understand what those fees are. What comes with that? Do you have to pay for a parking space? Do you have to pay for a storage unit? So again, it's treated very similar to an apartment situation because you're sharing walls, but at the same time, they're making sure that they're maintaining everything while you still have ownership. And then make sure that the bylaws and the rules and regulations make sense to you too, because you may be thinking to yourself, oh, this is a great area, but if I decide to have a bigger family, or if this doesn't work out for me, then can I sell it, right? But not just sell it, but can I rent it out? And some associations don't allow you to buy the condo and then rent it out. You just have to sell it. Okay. So again, keep your eyes open. Make sure you understand everything that you're getting into. Make sure you ask questions and make sure those questions get answered by the right people. Okay. If you guys like this video, you're most definitely going to like the next one, and we'll see you guys there.